Hello, Bianca.
Hi, Alex. How's it
Bianca,
going?
welcome to A/B testing.
Wow, thank you. Thanks for having me. It was a little rough getting here, but we're here.
We're here now.
We're
How
here.
are you doing today? I'm sorry that we had some technical difficulties. I'm sorry we're starting a little late, but yeah, putting all that aside, Bianca, what's up? What's going on?
Doing all right. I even joined early,
I know you
because
did.
I was so enthused, and excited. As we said, we are piloting out lots of new shows this month, and there's been a show that I've heard talks about. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
And that show features one part of the A/B testing stream. I won't say any names, but you could tell by the dance.
Yeah, you can tell by the dance. So I'm super excited. My big project that I'm trying out, it's gonna work, but that I'm kind of piloting this quarter is a reboot of a show that our very own producer ChefBrent used to run called Twilio Changelog. And it's just what's new and what's happening at Twilio. And I'm gonna bring it back, different flavor, a little bit of a different target audience, but I'm super excited to just be like leaning in. And I'm leaning in because of all of you. It's been so much fun doing these streams and everything that I'm just kind of like wanting to do more video stuff. And that's where it's all stemming from. So today on the show, we're gonna do our normal intro stuff, talk about things we like, I think we're gonna have a special guest, and just have a good show. But then the bulk of the show is gonna be kind of going through my thought process as I put together the content for one of these shows. I'm really excited. When Brent ran this, it was all this way. He and another Twillian, Corey Weathers, would get on stream and talk for hours, and then they'd pull that into their episode that was cut down to just a few minutes. So I'm super excited. And yeah, should we bring the chef bot on now? If he's ready, we'll see. If he's ready, Chef Brent, please join us whenever you're ready. We'd love to have you on just to go through our.
I'm always here, but I'm in the wrong spot. I should be there.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're always there. That's true.
I can't hear Bianca.
You can't hear Bianca. I can.
Oh,
Okay, no, I know why. I know why you couldn't, because I was on mute for a moment.
All right.
Because of Bianca. Let's. Why don't we start with like sponsored, not sponsored? What are you guys liking? What's exciting? Brent, you always have like the best of these, so I'm curious to see what you're getting into.
Yeah, what I'm up to.
Yeah.
Let's see. I am drinking coffee at the moment.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to remember what the is it Madeline's pecan? There's a roaster that I get this from. There's a roaster. It's important.
Nice.
It's important.
That is important.
It's actually pretty important.
Yeah.
Because this, if I just do that one, this is a woman-run company. It's like it's certified. It's got the certified thing. But I buy the big. There's a 5-pound bag of this that I buy because I go through a lot of this. And I buy whole bean and yeah, that's my jam. And that's what I'm drinking right now. And I'm drinking that out of the Ember mug that we were talking about.
Nice. Yeah,
we were talking about pre-stream.
He convinced me to get an Ember mug. This was the gift that, I don't know, at some point you just tell your spouse what you want and they tell you what they want, and that's what you get. I got Anna a pair of shoes this year because she wanted a pair of shoes. So it goes. But yeah, it's the Ember mug. It's got a little base and it heats itself up, and I have an app for it. So my tea stays at the perfect temperature.
It's great. Listen, it's great. I love that thing so much. Frackberg has one too. I got Frackberg into the Ember mug. Frackberg, I think, got the Ember mug and the tumbler, Ember tumbler.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a recent thing. It keeps Chris Tofrog.
Yes, Tofrog. It's an app controlled mug.
It's an app-controlled mug.
No, truly, that was where they lost me a little bit. I'm just wow.
I just got to figure out how to set it up on my Stream Deck so I can use my Stream Deck to control my mug.
I was
That's
just
really
like,
the key.
I was like, how far is too far? I guess.
perfect
Actually,
temperature all day.
You know what? I shouldn't do this, because one thing about sponsored, not sponsored, we must meet it with kindness. No judgment on the sponsored, not sponsored. So,
yeah, I have an update from my last week's, because I think I talked about the Home Assistant last week. I have it. You're gonna just be able to see it. Got it set up so I think if you look over my shoulder, you'll be able to see it. I can, from my Stream Deck, control the lights in my room.
Ooh, you fancy.
I'm fancy.
Fancy. Here, wait. Do that again. Look at that. Look at that over on the right. Yeah, you fancy. I can do that too. I can do that too, but it's not. You use Home Assistant? Is that correct? Yeah, I have Lutron lighting from when I used to work there. Long time ago. Ages ago. I have Lutron Radio Raw 2, and I have that hooked up to Home Bridge, which is Apple's. It's like HomeKit.
Got it.
HomeKit only.
Home Assistant will pull all those in.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's on the Home Assistant. I've been using
Home.
I think I've been using Home Bridge since before Home Assistant existed.
Yeah,
potentially.
Maybe. It's super nice.
What are you running that on? Are you running that on a Pi or something?
No, last week. So I stole two. Not stole. When they closed the Twilio office in Denver, they were giving away a bunch of their old hardware. These are little Chrome things. I forgot what they're called. They're Chrome box. It's a Chrome box. It's a Nook in my mind, like Intel Nooks I've worked with a lot. But it's Chrome. I had to flash so I pulled two of these from the office. I had to flash the whole BIOS of them so they can run things other than Chrome, including having to like remove a pin. And then this one has Ubuntu on it. The other one has Home Assistant, and it's plugged in to straight into my router downstairs. So
awesome.
That's how I do it. There's a third-party subscription that you can buy that'll port it to the cloud, but I haven't done that yet, and I don't know if I'm going to or not, to be able to control things from home.
Okay.
But it's cool.
I'm yelling at our guests in chat, all caps. Tofrog has not joined us. Why do I call it Toy Frog?
Toy Frog.
Toy Frog.
Toe. These are good points, but I just thought that you would volunteer. I'm just saying, you hear us talk about it every week.
That's true.
I don't know. Maybe I just have a different approach. I'm just like, I like the volunteering. Come join us. We're down. Anywho, so great. We'll get, so this is our official ask. Feel free to put it on the screen. Toe Frog, will you join our stream? This is our official ask to you on stream. This is not sponsored. It's not sponsored, but this is an official ask. We'll send you a screenshot of it. We'll do that. Let's see. On today's not sponsored bit for me, I've been really craving Rice Krispie treats. So this is what we have. It is a gluten-free marshmallow dream bar. Because we're adults now and our systems can't take all this stuff. But this is my not sponsored. You have
to block your face. Yeah, you have to block your face.
I was like, oh gosh. This is the I don't know. I'm not built for all these things.
Which camera are you using?
The Sony.
Is it a 6100? Okay, so like the one thing that I really like about the ZVE 10s that we started sending people is they have a like a product feature kind of thing where like it knows that you've brought something into the foreground, and it doesn't perfectly do it optically. I think there's a little bit of like software magic where it's like, oh, foreground thing, let me like blur the background, even if your lens wouldn't do it. But I think when the lens can do it, I think it'll do it.
So that was my item. And then I always have my my beer mug that holds water because vibes.
Yeah.
The beer mugs from Dollar Tree, I tell you, not sponsored, but those things are.
There's something nice about that, just like big glass of water. And I have a couple of like German Stein like clear, like that size mug, but they're the heavyweight, like
It's how you build muscle, Brent.
they are heavy. My
Ember's
goodness.
heavy.
I think one's like Hofbrau, and it's just like it's huge, and it's just like thick glass. I'm like, that is a heavy mug.
Yeah.
I like it though. I like having like that big, liter of water or whatever. It's good.
It's very important. Hydration is important. Stay hydrated, y'all. It's very dry stuff.
This is the Ember mug. Since it was, it was
last purchase.
You see it? Yeah, that's a feature. That's a feature of my streams is like when I recommend a product, a lot of times that you can see when I bought it. It's really fun when like it's the blender that I bought like, 12 years ago or something. And it's like, I'm telling you, it lasts forever. Trust me. Just trust me.
Yeah. Mine, I'd like to this. I think this show is going to be. Oh wait, this is gonna work. I think I have the button to control things. Yeah, there we go. Brought to you by cats.
Aw.
This is Namira. When I got up for a second, I was trying to find another camera to show you guys her laying like under my computer on my desk. But then she didn't like me getting up, so she's there. And this is her, and she's a little just like, she's a very compliant cat. I don't think she's technically a ragdoll, but she feels like a ragdoll. Brent's got his little eyes on.
Yeah.
There we go.
The little. Oh.
Yeah. And now I'm covered in cat hair, and it's worth it. So if you don't have a cat yet, go out, get yourself a cat. Oh, you know what? Cat thing that I got that's absolutely one of the most ridiculous things I own in my home. I own now what's called a litter robot, version 4. And it is a self-scooping robot. It came highly recommended from the people at Twilio, on the Twilio, the cat owners of Twilio. Frackberg, get a hairless cat. Easy. No, I'm kidding.
Or don't. Those things are scary.
Those things are scary. But the cool thing about it is that the litter robot connects to my Home Assistant, so I can see if my cats have gone to the bathroom on my Stream Deck.
Feel like
I'm just over here like, did our good old creators know good old internet phones, cell phones used to keep your coffee warm, monitor your cat litter, just the wide range of.
Did they expect to be? No, they did not.
Like sometimes I really do wonder if we're like, yay, tech advancement. And then they're like, wow, this is where we're at. But then,
listen, phones used to be phones.
That's true too.
Yeah.
And then you had Beeper, the previous era, little Beeper vibes. It's very interesting stuff. Let's see. Very excited. Yeah. How are we feeling going into the new year? I feel like this week has been like, it's back.
It's been I've had a weird time. There's so many things going on, and I'm like, haven't quite caught up to like getting back in work mode and like making to-do lists and figuring out what I need to do and all the steps. So there's more than almost any other time in my life. I feel like I've just been sitting here being like, I know there's stuff to do. What am I supposed to be doing right now? And it's, so it goes. Admitting that with my manager in chat right now. So
that was bold. That was bold.
I'm still getting my stuff done, and I'm still doing the things I need to do.
You notice the silence. I was like, that's
bold.
Bold. I was like the toe of frog probably was like, I have many things for you to be doing.
No, I know what I need to do. It's just like I haven't gotten organized enough where I'm like, okay, task ABC, that's the next thing up. I'm just like still in a little bit of like free form, whatever feels right now. Just fine. And then Brent was out last week and he's back. And we're happy.
That's true. This was like a live look at Tofrog. Tofrog was like,
for sure.
Definitely.
No,
our next
absolutely.
one meeting, organizing. Yeah.
So
we have that on the schedule already. Don't worry, Tofrog. We're good.
Oh no, we've had this discussion. Fun fact, we actually do have a meeting on the calendar tomorrow morning that I'm like, that is That is literally the meeting focus.
It's been fun. You know, one thing I've noticed is Bianca and I had worked together, you know, I mean, we got hired at the same time and we've worked together a lot, but I feel like it started with this stream where we truly started partnering on almost everything. And now like almost everything we do, we're doing it hand in hand in a really nice way, sharing leadership, sharing ownership. And it's been really great. So thank you, Bianca, for doing that. And then even more and more of our stuff is being supported by Brent because we get to do this stuff together and we love it. Like he's supporting the show we're making. And we actually have some external producers that Brent helped us get acquainted with that are working on the some of the other things we're doing. So like we're just like this stream has truly been the genesis of a lot of growth and work we're doing in Twilio. So I'm just grateful for both of you. Just want to start there.
Alex, so sweet.
What was my first goal on stream?
Stream tears.
Stream tears. It's where it's happened, but I'm always shooting for those.
Oh yeah. We've come a long way. No, I think the start of the year is actually interesting because it's like there's just so much out there, just not even just like internally. I feel like there's a lot happening. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of possibility. I think this is probably the first year in a while that like, you know, folks are feeling a sense of like, okay, you know, the markets or whatever, but I have noticed like a mini enthusiasm, whether it's startups, whether it's organizations, this different enthusiasm. So I think everyone's trying to capture that energy and like, all right, let's do everything. So it's been a, you know, just momentum, energy. One thing I'm excited for is I do feel like our dev community is, you know, y'all are going to see us more, right? So I think I'm really excited about just kind of some of the things that we'll be doing for our developer audience. So that is extremely exciting to me. Whether it's like meeting us at live events, whether it's, you know, making our digital communities a bit more robust. Shout out to the Twilio Discord. So you can meet us there. So I think I'm really excited for us to kind of get back connected with each other. So I'm hype about that. So yeah.
And there's a special A/B testing stream channel in the Discord. So
yeah,
hit
there
us
is.
up. We're listening.
We're listening. Want to hear what you're building. Like, I think I remember one of the things that I was thinking about, I was like, you know, one cool thing about it is like, yeah, there's Twilio at large, but then I think it's like what happens in the day-to-day, the weeks to weeks. And I think as we're building in the day-to-day, the weeks to weeks, we really want, whether it's Discord, whether it's stream, whether it's our random webinars, right? They're not random. They're very thought out things with
Totally
lots of
random.
awesome
We just do whatever's on our mind.
Whatever
That's
is
what
on our
stream
heart.
is for.
You know, but I think it's like great that we're having all these kind of different touch points or ways for us to kind of keep the conversation going, and really invest in relationship. Like we talk about that all the time, right? Like connect to your people. So I do think we should be mindful of how we're doing that as well. So very enthusiastic to just like hear from y'all. So you know, bring more people into the fold. Like let's get the combo. Let's bring it back up. So yeah. Okay. I know I said a lot of things. But like I mentioned, I'm very excited for what we have going on today. So we have a show pilot. Yeah. Before we even start with the show pilot, can y'all give me a sense of, you know, what prompted this? You know, like what inspired this?
That's a good question. I'm just gonna we'll get my screen in a minute. But I don't like. This was one of those things that I don't know why. I just like wanted to do it. I love this style of. I love like the new style. Here's what I do on like I watch like shows. Those are great TV shows. But like the things that I watch that are a little more regular, like SNL because it's hilarious and I love comedy stuff and I'm doing improv. And then also I watch like The Daily Show and there's a lot going on there. I don't want to dive into the politics of that one, but like, I love that format. I think that the news format is just so much fun. There's a few other like podcasts and video podcasts that I listen to that do it. Like there's like the AI Daily Breakdown, things like that. And I just like, I love that. I love like, hey, here's 10 minutes. Let's get you caught up on everything you need to know on a somewhat regular basis. I think it's a really efficient form of media consumption, and I think it can be really entertaining. So that's one side. That's kind of where it is for me. And then for me personally, I'm just like, I have this amazing opportunity. We're at Twilio. It's such a cool place to be. It's so amazing to be on the DevNet. And I asked, can I make this show? And manager said yes. So like part of it was just like, I have the opportunity right now to do something that I feel like is super interesting, is really exciting for me to try out, leaning into more of this scripted video. I want to make it fun, but also informative and educational and all that stuff. So for me, it's like this mix of like doing something that I enjoy and also pushing myself and trying something new. I think this is going to be a little bit hard for me, honestly. There's certain things about how I work that this comes in, that hits up right against. So it's going to definitely be a growth thing, but that's what it was. And then
I did have
yeah, go ahead.
Frankberg.
Oh no. So do you need LOL. So I think even within that though, news has kind of evolved. I guess like what do you see as the importance of just having news, particularly within this like in tech, right? I think we can Yeah.
Well, another bit of context, another project that I picked up actually right around the time I started streaming, like Q1, Q2 last year, was helping out with Twilio's quarterly releases. And so we have a webinar every quarter. It's really well produced. It's really fun to do, where we bring PMMs in and they talk about all the releases from the last 3 months that are happening. Most of it's super exciting and cutting edge, and that's really fun. But what I noticed is it's always this scramble at the end of the quarter to get all the content. We're like, it's a PMM thing, but not really a product thing. And so it's like a push pull. And I was like, is there a way that we can make it all fit together in people's product streams a little better? So from the internal Twilio side, I was coming from there and I was like, how can I do this better? If I could start from nothing, I just love when ChefBrent drinks water. It's so silly. Like, what would that look like? And so that's another piece of it. Good question, Bianca. Thanks for having that piece come in, because that was another big piece of it too, is I was seeing what we were doing now and I knew that there was potentially a better way. And there's a precedent for this. We've done this before.
Okay. So, and which I have heard about. So, but I think within that too, though, what role does news play for the builder, for the developer, right? And I'm curious to kind of see that evolution. What have you seen, ChefBrent, in terms of just like from the previous days of how y'all were consolidating information to now the opportunity?
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity. I think what ends up happening is Twilio ships a lot, right? And if you listen to any of the investor calls, or maybe you don't want to listen to investor calls, maybe you want to look at twilio.com/changelog, which is where the original the other show that I worked on. So like this was that was the website, and you can go to that. It's just twilio.com/changelog. It'll put in the en-us. That's just our CMS does that. But that is like a relatively real-time log of things that are shipping on the platform, and you'll find everything from like very small feature additions up to send real-time transcripts. Sometimes it'll be billing changes, whatever it is. It's like, this is a good way to keep up to date with what is changing on the platform. And I think developers, I have this pulled up too, Alex. Let me just pop that over there. What I saw was an opportunity to leverage a lot of the stuff that was going on. This started in 2020, I believe. And if those of you that remember 2020, is kind of weird, right?
Nothing happened then.
But nothing happened in 2020. But we kind of took the opportunity that was there to go and make some new kinds of content. So we were streaming a lot. I was making a lot of YouTube content as well. And this playlist is out there. You can go and do the thing. I'll drop it in the chat to all platforms.
It's very important to know that Brent is I'm
a real person. Bianca keeps thinking that I'm not, but I'm legitimately a real person. That is my face.
You're dancing
I'm
on my
just
shirt.
That is me holding a segment logo as if it were, some orb of some kind. Like, I'm a
Mhm.
real person.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, this started in August of 2020, and it just, to me, it was an unserved category of
Mhm.
content that we weren't doing. We're shipping a lot at Twilio. Like, there's old quotes for like how much we ship every year. I think some of that's silly because it's like little small feature ships, but those aren't silly to the person that ends up using that feature. And it's hard
No.
to keep up with this
Mhm.
stuff. It is like really hard to keep up with
It
everything that a
is.
company's doing. And to me, it just seemed like an opportunity to be like, hey, you know what? Not all of this stuff is necessarily going to be groundbreaking and maybe matter to you, but some of it might be. And what we did on my show that I know is different from what Alex is doing, but what we did on my show is we actually vetted what was going to go on. Some of the later episodes, I would have Corey or Nathaniel come on stream with me live, and we would go through the changelog from like the last time I made a video to like that week before I was making the video, and we'd go through them all and be like, oh, no one's going to care about that billing change, like that doesn't really make sense for the dev audience, we won't do that one. And I think part of that feeling, and correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but some of that feedback, like the not all of this stuff is relevant to developers, is part of the ethos of like when you do a quarterly release webinar, not everything that's in there is going to necessarily matter to the developer. Like it may matter to them in some portion of the business that they work for, but maybe in day to day they don't care about that nearly as much as some of the other stuff that's going on. So that's what this was. This was a curated. I don't have time for all the news that Twilio is ever going to put out. This is curated for you. I've picked the top stories you need to know about
Yep.
this for this past month. I did it monthly. But like, here's what we're going to talk about this month. Here's the things that you missed if you weren't paying attention to what Twilio shipped in the past month. That was what Changelog was. And I think developers are curious. Like developers go on Hacker News, they're on Reddit, like they're on all these places where they can find out what's going on, what's new. We didn't have anything like that for Twilio, and I thought, why not?
You need a little something. I mean, one thing that comes to mind, which is like, there was an era that it was like, I love that folks would drop Easter eggs into like app updates, and like, you would go in there and like see the most outlandish app updates. And I think there was like an era that was like super exciting. But I do think though, when you're at a larger company, keeping up with all the things that are happening, it's just a little tougher, right? Like you don't have that same ability. So then it's like, how do we make sure folks are still informed and not take that for granted, right? So I even think it's like, how do you make just even the joy of the startup days of like, those little updates and hey, here's what's happening. And just kind of understanding folks still want to be kept in the loop, right? Whether you're five people or 5,000.
Totally. Look how like popular and how much hype they get. And this is a different beast. This is not where we're going with this, but like those OpenAI releases, those are wild. And even when they did was it 12 days or whatever, they did like their releases at the end of the year, like that was such a cool thing that they decided to do. And it really shows like how they're trying to innovate and everything. And I don't expect us to be that big on a regular basis, but
why
like,
not?
How do you keep what? We'll get where you get there. Yeah.
No, I get it. I mean,
hone
they're
yourself
huge.
like 20,000 times will be good. But we'll get there. So we'll get to that level. But like, I think the first step is creating a container for it so that we can do these things. And I'm definitely thinking along the lines of developers, but our at least for Bianca and I, the definition has evolved a little bit. We've like changed the name of almost all of our things to like builders, not developers. The idea being there that there's some people who maybe aren't the ones with hands on keyboard writing code that are still building out solutions using Twilio. And like, so it's one concentric circle outside of just pure developers, because it includes developers as well, that I'm thinking of. But like, it's very much like, I'm not making something to go and talk to the like, CEO of a Fortune 500 company who's, making a decision on whether or not they're going to implement Twilio. but like I am talking to that product manager or that, you know, that VP of customer success or the whatever it is, the person figuring out what they actually need to do to connect with their customers better. Like that's who I'm talking to. And it could be a developer and it might be the person designing the solution. So it's a pretty similar audience, a little different.
Well, thank y'all.
Sure.
Thank y'all for indulging my mini Q&A, because I do think it's important that folks understand not just, hey, we're creating new shows, but like the why and the intention behind it. So thank y'all for sharing authentically about just what to expect. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll let y'all take it away.
Sweet. Brent, do you want to show some of the stuff you used to do, or do you just want me to jump into the changelog? Where do we want to go?
Yeah, well, like, what's interesting to you? Do you like, because I don't know, like, we don't have to look at the stuff from the past. We can just chart ourselves right into the future.
Let's chart ourselves into the future. Let's go.
Let's do that. I mean,
I'm gonna pull up my changelog.
Sounds good.
This is my computer. Hello, welcome everybody. So like this is one source of information that I will be using to make this show work. The other big source that I'm really trying to get at is get the like the product managers and the product marketing managers to think of me as a place they go to, but that's going to take some time. So for now, I'm just going to scour the changelog and like look at these and see whether they're interesting. So this one is interesting. Send real-time transcripts to voice intelligence. We have these products, voice intelligence, so it'll actually like summarize and do some kind of like AI-ness on top of your voice calls. And if I'm not mistaken, this will do it live. Yeah. Persist live transcriptions, automatically store real-time transcriptions of voice intelligence history log for future. Cool, because it used to be delayed by quite a bit. I don't know how long, but you know, some amount of time. And run post-call language operations. I wonder if that's like switching languages. Let's see. What are language operations? Sometimes referred to as operators, are artificial intelligence machine learning technologies to run transcripts into structured information using a variety of techniques. Okay, so that's how you process the data afterwards. But there you go. Brent, you could just flip your camera, right?
Could I?
I don't know. Can you mirror? There you go.
I guess I could flip around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could even just literally flip. Yeah. Fine.
We solve all of our problems with technology. I'll just start looking this way, and then it'll be really confusing.
It'll be really awkward. Like, why isn't Alex looking at his screen?
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's a pretty cool one, and this is definitely something I want to talk about. And I'm kind of thinking of these two as in like, there's the big stories, the kind of medium stories, and like the little stories you just mentioned. This is probably in the medium to little range, is my hunch. What do you guys think about? Do you guys know much about voice intelligence or what this update might be?
This would probably be. I'm assuming this is a fairly medium to small kind of thing. It's not like wouldn't be a big change.
No.
It's not a big topic.
It's not like the first time they released voice.
I wanted to clarify one thing. You're not doing a live component for this show, right? This is all recorded, right?
It's going to be pre-recorded. I'm just doing a live show now to talk about the pre-recorded show because it's sweeps.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Doing pilot season.
Chat. If there are curious what things that y'all are also interested in seeing, like on this show, right? We do want to make sure the shows are, exciting for y'all too. So definitely feel free to add any thoughts as they come to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, this is probably in the medium side. I have an idea. I already think I know what the big ones are going to be, but we'll see if they show up in the changelog or not. Preview.twilio.com/sync API endpoint will end of life on March 10th. Might mention that. Probably won't.
That's a really small one.
Yeah.
That's a really small one.
This is like this is the
change from preview.twilio.com to sync.twilio.com. Like, I mean, that's literally, it says down below, like, update the URL.
Yeah. So
I think we're okay.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna mention that one.
All right.
But that's the kind of thing that's like, I'm glad that we have this somewhere. I'm sure there's people paying attention. And I don't think that's as newsworthy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Craig
this
says
one, is a little bit related to the voice intelligent one. Agent Copilot enhances wrap up with topics and subtopics. So this is a Flex update. And I'm actually curious to get your opinion on this, Brent and Bianca. Flex is something that for developers we traditionally haven't covered because it's not as much of a developer tool, right? It's a little bit more of the tool for the other thing. So I'm curious if what do you guys think? And chat as well. We got some people who know about this. We got Craig Code. Craig's here. He's got this. Andrew's here. So I want to know. I set the stream to.
Andrew set the stream quality to 160p last time. I was like,
No,
"Hey, y'all are blurry."
Sorry, Andrew.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's a blurry day. No, we're good. But yeah, I'm curious what everyone thinks. Is Flex something? Because it's people who would potentially be building on Flex. There's a lot of cool announcements. We're doing a lot of cool product stuff, but it's not as much of a developer builder tool. What you guys think?
Flex is tricky. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought a lot about Flex over the years in terms of content creation. Believe it or not.
The way you said it, I've really reflected on Flex.
Listen, I have it's been one of those let me introspect a little bit. And part of me is yeah, it's definitely this is a cool thing. And there's probably eventually going to be, we talked about at one point, there was the emergence of a Flex developer in the same way that you'd think of a Salesforce developer. But what I don't have a good feel for really still today is what percentage of the developer viewership base that may come across this, right, is likely to ever run into ever work at a company that has Flex deployed. I don't know. I actually don't know, because maybe somebody that's predisposed to being a Twilio developer is more likely to end up in a telecom situation where the company has a contact center and they may be likely to have been swayed at some point to Flex. But then I think about all of the developers that come in, at the more not beginner side, but earlier in career side, maybe they're coming into Twilio because they saw us at a conference or whatever. Flex isn't going to be as interesting to them. So I don't know. We're sort of we're in a weird spot where I don't think I would make Flex a priority to the coverage, but I also wouldn't ignore it if it's something really cool about Flex that might make somebody want to check it out. And that's where I've towed the line. We did a YouTube playlist for the PMMs at one point. I don't remember if it was requested or if I just went and did it, but it was how to customize Flex from a previous bygone era. I think the plugin system's different, so those videos are all hidden now. But I did a whole Flex series, which was you've got this base Flex setup. How do you customize it? How do you build your own plugin? How do you make it look the way you want it to? I did a whole series on that, but I don't know, again, I don't know how big that addressable market is as a subset of our overall developer audience.
I think.
Go ahead, Bianca. I want to give space to Bianca because you asked both of us.
Oh, the one thing I would say is that what you do bring up there, Brent, is this aspect of the personas in some ways, right? Who are these different audience sets? And I think that's been brewing up, because even last week when Andrew was doing the new show, I was like, man, the enterprise developer that's having to deal with legacy code. So I do think really being able to highlight how it might fit into these different kind of personas. Maybe I think there might be some overlap there, but Flex, I think we all can learn a bit more about. Flex is just such an interesting space. But I do think seeing how it might connect to some of the other tools, I think there might be some interesting things there.
Yeah,
potentially.
I think those are both great points, and it's about who it is. And I think Tofrog's point that there are actually a good number of customers who want components of Flex, but not full-blown Flex. Flex is kind of the culmination of a lot of our different tools and technologies into one platform that's a little bit more turnkey. Still requires some, some building and some configuration.
That's basically it. If you're in that world, this is going to be a great tool.
for that case, like I agree with you. Like I think it's worth mentioning, but maybe not making it the star of the show unless there's a huge release with it. So I like that. I think it's thinking about the different personas, and like at some point someone might be like, oh, this Flex. Most of what I've seen talking to customers and startups is Flex is really cool. It's more than what we need right now. That's what I found that I get more often than not. So like, I think it's still good to think about like, what are we doing to make the contact center experience better? But yeah, I don't want to harp on that too much, but I think it's worth mentioning.
You don't want to be a contact center enthusiast? Like,
I am.
Really?
I
Okay.
I work at Twilio. Of course I'm a contact center enthusiast.
Okay.
That's
hashtag sponsored.
I'm
hashtag always sponsored.
Hashtag always sponsored by Twilio. Like, yeah. Contact center evangelist over here.
Duh.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that. I think it's one of those ones where like I wouldn't forego mentioning Flex just because it's like more niche, but like I wouldn't spend. It's never going to be your top story. Let's put it that way. Like not for this audience. Maybe there's a flavor of this where it is. Maybe this catches on and we do like the other flavors of this where, you know, maybe there's a more frequent than quarterly kind of thing for that side of the world. You know, the non-developer side. It is what it is. Yeah,
for sure. And I think another component of this that I'm going to be getting into, and I don't know how much it shows up on the changelog here, but segment as well, which is like I'm plugged in with the segment SEs. Alex is actually a portmanteau of Alex.
I love.
I tried to know.
Love that.
I was just waiting for you to like. I was like, how long until he sees it?
That's
that's pretty good. I like that.
That was.
Maybe I can do something like this. Here, you want to show my name?
Is that like Alex and Flex? Like,
here, you want to show my name again?
Oh yeah. Give me a second. I'll get over there to the. They reorganized StreamYard, so I'm a little lost. There you go. Which one even is it?
Sweet.
Point.
You know.
But we're gonna have a similar deal with.
Alrighty then.
We're gonna have a similar deal with segment. Like, what are the things that are useful for people building to know about segment, and what are the things that you know, we don't need it to work with. So like, I think that as we grow into this one Twilio, where we have all these products that work together, I just want to highlight all the cool stuff we're building. And it's kind of one of those things where like, it could just be a line that's like, hey, we're doing this on Flex, and that's inspiration to go check it out for somebody. We're doing this on segment, that's inspiration. So I think there's that, you know, some stuff I'll dive into and get like what's actually going on here, and other stuff it'll just be like, hey, if you want to go learn more, these things are happening.
Yeah. And even just being able to highlight like, how does this help you solve your problems?
Yeah, and that's really the key. I want
like,
everything to come back to what problem are we solving and how does this help you solve that problem.
And I think like the more folks are like, oh, okay, this unblocks me or this whatever, like I think at its core, that's, you know, such a huge piece of that.
We're still working on the name. One of the names I had was developer or builder cut that I was thinking of, but you're making me like, what if it's like solution set or like I don't know. I feel like there's some fun names we could come up with in here.
Yeah, builder cut. I get where you're going with that. I think it's a little too meta. So like, it's too meta to what you're doing. Where it's like, this is the, you know. I think it goes back to the conversation we were having that one day with like Sandra, me and Sandra, about like, what if there was a developer cut of the the quarterly releases? Exactly. That's where it came from. And I think like if you knew that, it's a great name. If you don't know that, you're like, developer cut of what?
Which most of us did not know.
What are you cutting? Like, what's the full thing? And like, I don't think you'd. Yeah. So it's like, he's like, is Alex just over there cutting code? Like, what is going on? So yeah. So I think something a little less meta will play better there. But I don't.
I know that sounds out, but like cutting through the code.
Yeah.
Cutting through the code's a good name for something.
Naming's hard.
That's a good name for some show.
Cutting through
Andrew,
the code.
you got that? Did you hear that, Andrew?
Andrew, that might be a
that's a
super
that's an Andrew show name right there. Cutting
through the code.
Super
okay.
Cuts.
Yeah.
I like. I don't know.
We'll think about it. But if anyone has a good name for a new show,
we'll have to workshop that one, Andrew. Cutting through the code. I actually think cutting through the code might be a good name for one of the one of my longest ideas because it's just this one's hard.
I'm rolling my eyes. I'm rolling my eyes at you, Brent.
This one actually, the reason this one hasn't been done is because it actually would be a lot harder to do now than it would have back then. I lost my connection, so it was that I don't know if I should spoil. I've probably talked about it on stream before. I don't know. Bianca's just mad at me because she wants me to do the shows. She wants me to do the shows. Let's go back. Let's get back to Alex's show.
Hold on. Andrew just said just is it for developers. You know what you could do actually is it AI? That would be a funny show. Is it? Are you building an app? Does it do stuff, or did you literally just plug something into an LLM and have it?
I have a response to Andrew, but it's going to take me a little bit to type it.
But can we cut AI with a knife? I mean, data centers exist. You can.
There, I finally got my.
Because I guess the reason like the cutting through stuff was interesting, which is like, on one end you're kind of sifting through. Maybe it could be bakery cake inspired. There is something about you like sifting through stuff, right? There's a lot of information. There's like a sifting.
The Twilio sift. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's stuff there. You're getting to the, not me. Sorry. Getting to the bones. But then we might. Okay, sorry. I was just thinking about wings, and I was like, getting to.
Well, that's you guys. I forgot to tell you. Part of the news show is I'm eating wings with really hot sauce the entire news show.
Wow, never heard of that.
Hot news. I love it, Alex. I'll ask you increasingly difficult questions about the news while you eat increasingly hotter hot sauce. That's never been done before.
Ever. I don't think I've ever heard of that show.
This is like the weirdest combination of hot ones, and I think like Russia, they have like news where people like take clothes off. Yeah. Can you tell I've watched way too much Hot Ones that I was able to riff on the premise a little too. Hot ones and zeros. Okay, see now we're just infringing.
Okay.
Listen, we're just infringing on Jason Langsdorff's territory now, though, if I'm being honest.
We're not gonna do hot sauce. I don't like it that much. I appreciate a good hot sauce. Great. We can have a show where you eat hotter and hotter sauce and I ask you questions.
Hotter and hotter. Fresh off the press.
I do like hot ones and zeros, Craig. That's a nice one.
Okay.
You'd run into trademark problems there.
100%. Still a fun name.
Okay, so you can have.
Okay, so hit me up with the names. Join us in if you got name ideas.
Join the Discord.
Yeah,
join the Discord and let us know. Let us know what your name for this news show would be.
If we do, that's so cool. I like that. If you do the BAM Discord.
Yeah,
BAM.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I just have to.
BAM news.
I have to rig something up for next time that'll go to YouTube as well. Yeah, I did want to mention we did drop down to just one YouTube. I have a hunch that going to both may be wrecking the algorithm, but I don't know which one to go to. The Twilio Devs family for now.
We're Twilio Devs here. We're good.
To future folks watching on YouTube, hi, did you know you could join us live next time?
Live. Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Twitch.
I know people see this after the fact. YouTube. Y'all could join us live.
And then you can jump into conversation and be featured like Craig Codes and Andrew.dev and Tofrog and Frackberg
Yeah, I mean, if you like that sort of thing, we are here. Look, I mean, I did notice this earlier. We just didn't have time. We just didn't have time. I missed it earlier.
Yeah.
We did have someone on YouTube.
Oh. Hi, Toby.
Hi.
Yeah, if you're watching later because you were on here earlier, hi. Anyways, sweet. Let's get back to Changelog. I love tangents. Cool. What else?
Streaming is nothing but tangents held together by very loose threads. That's all it is. Well, especially when I'm around. I'm sorry. I invite this kind of behavior. It's sort of.
I feel like it's like a little test because then it's like, okay, Brent throws a little side quest.
It's my whole stream ethos. Yeah, ChefBrent.
Tangent chaser in chief.
Yes.
Tangent chaser in chief. Okay. All right.
So this is now we can see We're going from January right after the break to right before the break.
Okay.
Break there. That makes sense. So we're back in December now. Launching the compliance enabled for toll-free verification in public beta. This is another one of those things that like I probably won't mention. So this is for, I think this is for ISVs. So this is for customers of ours that have their own customers that use compliance. So it's like when someone's almost reselling Twilio. I don't think I'm really talking to ISVs that much. That's not really the target. This is probably super important for them and they love this, but this is not something that I think I would bring up.
I do wonder though, if there's like a Stack Overflow connect at some point of just like, have there been things that folks have been like, Twilio, I wonder when you'll ever do this thing. So there might be some interesting, like where else have there been conversations? Cause somehow someone's probably like, I can't wait for the day.
Yeah.
That we do X, Y,
Z. Twilio launches compliance enablement for toll-free verification of
you know,
there are people
somewhere.
It's real. Look, this makes it easier for ISVs to get toll-free numbers for their customers. This is huge. These are some of our biggest customers are now going to be able to get toll-free numbers for their customers. Like that's great. I just don't think it's the audience we're talking to for this. That's my hope.
No, totally.
Enhanced SMS sender selection for MMS converter. What is this? We're excited to announce an enhancement to the Twilio messaging service that improves the deliverability of multimedia content to destinations that do not support MMS. Ooh. With the updated MMS converter feature, messaging services can now select SMS-only capable senders when sending messages to destinations that convert MMS to SMS links. This is one of those small ones that's super tiny, but worth mentioning, because this is actually pretty cool. That we're in the back end making sure that whatever type of message you can get on your phone is the type of message we're sending you. But this is super small, right? Like most people wouldn't even notice this happening. It just kind of would happen and be like, oh, cool. It's there. Is this the kind of thing that you would have covered in your last one or mentioned in your last one, Brent? What do you think?
Let me see. Instant. Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. I'd be curious. Like a lot of times we did stuff where there was something to show, and I'm assuming there's something in console for this. Like, I'm assuming there's a setting in console for this, and like you could probably test this out. I don't know. Usually, I'm pretty sure that this would definitely would have made the cut.
Yeah.
And in particular, just because I think this fallback stuff like that is like anytime there's a new, you don't have to worry about when you send MMS because we're going to do this for you. Right. I think even if it was in passing, like a real quick one, like think of the news when they'll show a little graphic in the upper left for a story, and then they'll cut to a reporter that tells you more about it. And sometimes they'll show the graphic in the upper left and go, yeah, this is a thing, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And in other news, blah, 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 right? This would be one of those potentially, but like it would still get its own graphic because I think it's a big enough, it's one of those things that's like a big enough increase in capability for somebody who's doing a lot of MMS that it's just another thing that we're putting in their tool belt that they don't have to worry about now.
Yeah, and there's a toggle to turn it on and off in the console. So like you're right, there is a graphic where you can say like, if you go here, you can flip this switch and it's there.
You get that little quick B-roll kind of thing.
Yeah. You know what, Brett? I'm going to ask you a question because I've heard that term a lot. Can you define B-roll for me? Because for me, B-roll was always like stuff that didn't quite make the cut.
No. So in the video world, your A-roll, your A camera is like you are the host, Alex, and like there's going to be a camera on you reading the script, right? So that is the A-roll. The A-roll is the main camera that's focused on you. Maybe there's multiple main cameras that are focused on you, but it's the camera that's focused on the main content, the host kind of deal.
Okay.
And then B-roll is anything else that you're adding in when you cut away. So like if you're talking about a news story, you're talking about a news story and then you want to show the console scrolling in the background or show some code being written. Maybe you're not on screen. This is like additional footage that was filmed or recorded or grabbed off of stock footage or whatever. This is additional footage that is not the you talking content that we add in to like not have to have you on camera all the time, right? So that's your B-roll.
Got it. But I mean, I assume everyone just wants to see this all the time, forever.
You assume you assume. You make assumptions. That's what I heard, is that you make assumptions.
I do make assumptions. My mom doesn't watch the stream, so not everyone wants that. You know, it was so funny when I first started. Every time I had a webinar, my parents
Sorry,
were like,
Alex. I'm just like,
we're gonna watch your webinar, and now it's just like it's too much.
I'm just like, how does your sibling feel, Alex? I'm like, when you said that's all your mom would just want to see, just a photo of you just staring.
My sister has done a ton of education and video classes online around. She's like a trained shaman. There's a lot to dive into there, but she's done like education in that world and led very big groups. She is, as far as speaking in front of people, she's probably more experienced than I am. At this point, I probably have an edge on video, but she was doing this before I was, to some extent. So,
you know, so we're just gonna print out, send to Alex's mom of just Alex on stream. It's just the gift. We are going on all the tangents today. I love this for us.
Life is a tangent. Okay. US A2P 10 DLC launches support for CNP migrations. I don't know what that means. Campaign connectivity partner migration tool.
This would not make the cut.
No.
This would not make the cut.
Which is fine. A2P 10 DLC is super important. But I don't totally know what this does. And this feels like something I think a lot of the regulatory and compliance stuff, unless it's just like taking burden away, is kind of like the joy of Twilio is that we obscure that for you. And I want to keep that obscure.
Yeah. I mean, it's important. It's one of those things, like, it is important to the people that it's important to.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Like the people that absolutely need to know this, they know. They're paying attention to this and they know.
Show yourself.
Oh.
Show yourself. People.
This one is pretty cool. I think this means that if you already have an existing campaign somewhere else, you can bring it over to Twilio.
Interesting.
Like to Twilio from other messaging API providers.
Oh.
But yeah, probably not going to talk too much about that. That's fine.
I will say, are you going to be talking to the docs team first part of the show?
Yeah, I think the docs team is going to be really important, especially like figuring out what's coming down the pipeline. I also want to talk to the PMMs and the PMs, so the product marketing managers and the product managers of these things. And like, if I just have like, for the small ones, even in Slack, like how is this helping people? For the bigger ones, getting on a call with them and getting some details would be really nice. This is a big one. This is one of my favorites right now. Conversation.
We're biased.
Relay.
You'll see our bias.
You'll see our biases. You guys are gonna see a whole bunch of content from us coming up later this quarter on Conversation Relay because it's so cool. And the PMs and the PMMs working on Conversation Relay are super involved with our team, and they've been working with us. So I'm super excited to handle Conversation Relay with like not one line of TWIML, but basically like 4 or 5 lines of TWIML, which is, you can put it in one line if you really wanted to. You can now connect Twilio Voice to an AI, like with the whole AI chain, but you can also configure it to use your own LLM in the background. So we are handling a lot of the transcriptions and the text to speech, although we plug into whatever ones you want. So like if you have an 11's lab voice that's there, or the Google voices and whatnot, and plug it all into the back end. And this used to be the kind of thing that like you could do. I remember building out an entire work stream. Shout out to Craig, whose repo I used to build that, we called it Call GPT, where you could make a phone call and connect it to ChatGPT. I made a monster that could
mod so that sounded a little bit like this.
From off 11 Labs voice, and then cooked it up to an LLM and used it for a Halloween thing. So like this is super cool. I think developers are excited about this. They should be if they're not. This is gonna be maybe a feature of one of them, maybe kind of in the middle though. But this is a big one. What do you guys think? I just talked about conversation relay for a while because it's so cool.
I mean, it's definitely, makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I think that one has layers. I think we're also seeing a theme. If it has a blog post,
Yeah.
if it has a blog post, it's pretty meaty.
Ride the AI wave with conversation relay.
Now, I will say there is more accessible content for conversation relay being developed, or it has recently been developed than what we launched with, because I've been wanting to make a conversation relay video for a while, but everything that we shipped was really kind of aimed at ISVs. And to me, like everything I looked at, I was like, it's like, Paul, is anybody going to put anything out that like doesn't require an AWS certification? Because that's all like I was looking at, and I'm like, I'm not going to do a video that requires deploying to AWS on the Twilio Devs channel. Like I should, but like that's a much bigger undertaking than like get this node repo and run npm and like hook this up to the thing that you got from Olama or whatever.
What was the word that you started with? You said more
accessible.
Yeah.
Accessible something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they were just like the ones that came out were like, here's this enterprise grade solution for conversation relay, and it's like, no, I mean the first introduction to this for like the average person, you're gonna want like something much more toned down than that. And I was like, I can't wrap my head around this. I definitely can't make a video for it.
But
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
No, but I do think though, probably as you're doing this new show, even seeing those content gaps too, right? Which is like, yes, we have this information, but like, what's the connection to make it useful, right? Like, what's the connection to inspire action? So it's great if you have news, but if folks don't feel like they can do something with it, right? I do think that might be an interesting kind of opportunity within the show. So I appreciate you bringing that up, Brent, around like, yay, conversation relay, but also like, and then what,
Yeah. And that's a really great point. And I wonder, like, because this is a show that's happening regularly, there might be room to break things out over time, right?
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
There might be room to be like,
Updates.
conversation relay is coming. So the next one we're going to talk about, which is another huge one, which is RCS.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I have a vision. So RCS is rich. What's it stand for? Rich Content Service. It's basically like, if you have an iPhone, if you notice how you can like do more things with people who don't have iPhones and they little green bubbles, that's RCS. RCS is huge, and it's rolling out slowly, carrier by carrier, region by region. And like, there's probably a space where there's an RCS tracker where we're like, okay, where did RCS launch in the last 2 weeks? What's going on? Where can you use it? And I think for some of these bigger releases that are a little bit longer in phase, we're in public beta, now we're in we're in developer preview, and now we're in public beta, and now these things that are public but not fully formed. I think there's room, and that's why I love this mode of communication, is there's room to like a little bit of breadcrumbs over time. Like, hey, here's the updates on this thing that we already told you about last time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I did that on the previous iteration of this for some things that just like they went from beta to release like during the cycle of doing the show. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I even think like going back into the excitement of building, this is a part of building, right? Like you're gonna release these things. They go through along this journey. So I think even just folks understanding like whether you're a large company, whether you're a small company, like this is a similar process. So I do think even that aspect of like kind of getting back into the building basics and just kind of tracking how far are we, what are the capabilities here, how much more people can we reach, what new markets can we address based off of these kind of new layers that have been unlocked. So I do think like there's probably some stuff there.
Yeah, I need some like Domino's style pizza tracker graphics for some of these.
Yes. And like it's not just it rolling out to different regions and everything. We're also rolling out functionality slowly on us too. So
yeah, like I know there's different functionalities within RCS that we're slowly building on. And I think to some extent RCS is probably the future of messaging in a lot of ways. And the joy of it is it's not that different from sending a normal SMS on Twilio. Like it's very similar. There's some back end stuff you need to do to get configured to use it. And then you can do more and add things like carousels and these really cool interactive engagements, some of which you could already do on WhatsApp, which is super cool. So
yeah, a lot of it too. Like it's and what's interesting to me is the crossover for like SMS to RCS. So assuming you have RCS enabled on the account, which that's some of the stuff you need to do before you can get started. But like if you're already using a messaging service to send your message, it's like no change really. It's no change for that. And then like the same thing, the same code to send an SMS and RCS. The only difference if you're then going to send it to WhatsApp is putting WhatsApp : in front of the number. Like it just like, and if you're working with a messaging service, you may not even need to do that. Like it's kind of cool that the same code that you write can go out to all these different things.
Yeah, it is. And I love that it's so easy to enable the channels. And actually, you mentioned messaging services. It's kind of the de facto now, at least in the US, because if you're sending a message with A2P, it has to be through a messaging service because you register a messaging service and then attach numbers to it. So it's kind of like the de facto now. And I think having a messaging service, when I first joined Twilio, I shied away from messaging services because I thought they were a little bit harder to understand. And they are. Like you're sending to this kind of like pool that can do all these different things. But like as I've gotten more and more into it, the messaging service is just like, it abstracts a lot of stuff. So you can just focus on, hey, let my customer know what's going on here. Let me interact with my customer. And we focus on what's the channel, what's the phone number, what's the best way to reach them, all these different things. And then we add analytics on top of it. So I'm a big fan of messaging services these days.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And there's just a ton of features under the hood for that you can take advantage of that you can't use unless you're using a messaging service.
Look at us. Now we're messaging service evangelists too.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
What don't
It's almost like we're sponsored by Twilio.
Wow.
This stream brought to you by Twilio.
Not me. I would
never.
I would
you
never.
You have a hat.
Change your hat. Change your hat.
I would never.
I was like
the merch. The merch.
There we go. Twilio. I think Craig's got the name. Twilio News Service.
News Service.
Yeah. I was like, I love how you're like, I'm not sponsored by Twilio with the Twilio hat.
With the Twilio hat, yeah. It's like, oh no, oops, I should.
Shout out to my old life working in the ROS, the robot operating system. I've got ChefBrent. I've got ChefBrent's cousin on here too.
Oh, look at that! Look at him. Yeah, I know. He's like, that's
It's known.
It's on my mom's side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
it's
it.
A maternal cousin.
Oh my gosh, Chef Brent. The clothing choices are a little questionable, but like I just noticed there's a chef outfit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wait, you need to get clothes.
Twilio t-shirt would be cool. No, I only have the chef for now. I can talk to my artist.
Whole time I'm now realizing that I was
Did you notice did you know the desk is a cutting board? Like it's a booze block cutting board?
That's cool. I just thought of it was like a bamboo desk.
No. Take a look at it. It's a cutting board.
It is a cutting board.
It is absolutely. The only thing I don't have in that one is like we didn't put a brand name on it, so it's like not clear what the inspiration was, but it's booze block basically.
Okay. So it's really
Did you design the whole kitchen in the background too? Did you like pick one?
That is AI. That's AI.
Oh.
That was an AI image. I did that on stream one time. I was like, what would a futuristic kitchen look like? And then I just blurred it in Photoshop. Actually, did I blur it in Photoshop or did I blur it in OBS?
Because we've got a little bit of like, it looks like you got an island there that has like some some
I may have blurred. I actually
gadgets on
blurred this. Hold on. I actually blurred this in OBS. So
Oh.
let me take the color correction and
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh.
and then hide myself. That's what it actually is. I mean, it's very AI.
It's very AI, which looks great blurred.
It's very
Yes.
AI. And
Yeah.
then
It
if I
looks
just
concerning.
give it the color correction, okay,
Nice.
and then give it the blur.
And now it looks
Okay.
like a very
That's
futuristic kitchen.
that's the idea. So
Craig
I forget what
wants
stream.
that kitchen.
I forget what stream I did that in, but it was definitely in EVMux. It was one of the ones that we did, like one of the days we were hanging out in EVMux. I was just like, wait, you can create an AI image background in this tool, and I made this, and I was like, wait, let me download that and touch it up and put it into OBS.
I love that.
Good stuff.
What's your AI image maker of choice?
Oh man, you know what? I've been away from it for a bit. I have some stuff local that I was getting into that for a while and then kind of backed off because like this machine's got a 4090 in it, and I've got a Mac Studio over there, so like I've got the tools for I've got the power to do it, and I was getting into that for a bit. It's been a bit, so I haven't used that in a while. I also have subscribed on occasion to Midjourney.
Okay.
I think Midjourney does a pretty good job. I just go in the Discord for that, and like you can get 4 options. You can I want more of that one, and let it tweak around a little bit, and I think it's great. I think I've had the most fun with the stuff that you can run locally, because you can go and like find specific models and specific in painting and stuff like that you want to do to the images that you're creating. But like ultimately, I mean, it's all just kind of fun.
Yeah,
I guess
it is.
I have like a pretty, it's not updated at this point, but I had a pretty robust what is it? Stable diffusion. I have a pretty robust stable diffusion build locally with like a web UI and everything.
Oh, nice.
So, I don't know. I was learning that for a bit, and then I got distracted, and then I just haven't come back to it.
Yeah, I end up using just because we have it here at Twilio, we have access to OpenAI products, so I've been using DALL-E a lot. But I don't.
Yeah,
have
DALL-E's
great...
pretty good. This kitchen background was actually it's in the file name. It was generated through DALL-E.
Yeah.
Via EVMux.
Oh, cool. Yeah, there's a little bit. I just got to figure out a better workflow for it, because right now I'm like in Postman, I send a request, and the cool thing that DALL-E does is you put in your prompt, and then they edit they use ChatGPT to edit the prompt for you, and then that's what goes to DALL-E. So what I end up doing is like they make a prompt, and then I end up like tweaking that prompt that the AI made over and over again to get the
Gotcha.
It's cool stuff. Anyways, chat, if you guys have
cool.
favorite AI image stuff, we'd love to hear that too. Sweet. So yes, we were just talking about RCS. This is another one of the big ones that I think I would talk about and track over time, because I just think RCS is huge. This is probably something that you might have highlighted more, Brent, but I would mention, but I don't know how deep I'd highlight.
I don't think I would have gone very deep into it, but it's
okay.
So what's the reference components? Let's see. Showcase backend, front end implementation for common tool. Well, maybe if this is kind of like you're getting started kind of stuff, though. This I would probably maybe do in passing, but this is very much like the building blocks kind of stuff.
Ooh, and yeah, it's the front end implementation.
When we do building blocks for like front end and back end kind of stuff, like I think that's actually crucial, because the JavaScript SDK for voice is kind of tough to get into. So no, I take it back. I definitely would have highlighted this.
Okay.
And in like live, I think me and Corey would have actually built something with this. So like the little cutaway stuff probably would have been highlights of us going through building something using these components, because it is definitely one of those like since before we had this was basically a roll your own kind of situation.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in these components. Is there a list here? What's under use cases?
Cool. Making outgoing calls. So this would be making it easier for somebody using the voice SDK to really quickly set up.
Do we have like dial pads and stuff in here? Or like what is in here? I'm assuming.
I don't know. I mean, I could
go through the quick starts. There's a quick start.
It's the normal quick start.
No, there was something referenced down below. Oh, is it the normal quick starts?
Yeah.
Where it links
Go
says
through
go
the
through the quick
quick start.
starts?
Yeah.
Is that just
SDK
like the
gets started.
normal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's talking about variables. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm wondering what is actually in those components. I haven't actually looked into it. That's
Install
kind of cool.
dependencies, run the project start. Oh, and then it'll. Oh, what else? That would be localhost.
Dialer related components.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that kind of stuff and like call control. So like probably mute and things like that. We're giving folks controls that they've had to build themselves, which granted, not like, it's not earth shattering.
No.
Well, it's not very difficult to do that, but it's one more thing you don't have to do.
Do you
And
think if
also
I
just
fork this and open a code space, it would just load it? No, probably not. There's probably more to do. But anyways, yeah, like that is a cool one.
yeah.
Yeah,
also think-
Birdwell says I like things I don't have to do. I'm with you,
honest.
Tables.
It's honest. We had a submission for a show name, by the way.
Okay.
Parsons filtered for Twilio devs.
Poofed.
Welcome back to Poofed. Craig just wants me to go be on video repeatedly saying Poofed.
But you don't. So okay, the.
Man, okay.
So
I'm not sure about that one.
So
I'm not sure about that one. Poofed. Poofed.
Stay puffed, Marshmallow Man.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
okay, but I feel like okay. See, now I'm crying on stream, man. Damn, from laughter though. But the reason why I think you need a little humor though, like we need a little like it needs to be. I feel like it has to be serious, but also it could be a little poofed.
I'm not a super serious person.
I know.
I think part of my shtick is that I can seem very serious, right? I'm like, dude with beard and glasses.
It really,
but like,
it's really.
I'm not serious.
You know
That
what it
sounded
is?
real serious.
You
Dude,
look, yeah.
Dude with beard and glasses sounded real serious. Let me
I also
tell you.
think because you fit all the pieces, you just look like an academic. If we're gonna be real here, I think it's because you have academic energy.
Yeah.
So then,
Which
makes
glasses
sense.
look more academic? Because I got my old glasses here too.
Okay, let's see.
Because they broke recently. These are my current glasses.
Okay,
And I got my
okay,
old glasses. They're a little bit thicker framed.
okay,
It's
okay.
definitely
So
those.
so that no, that one gives like new age academic, like, ooh, I'm trying to be cool, but don't you know that I'm an academic? So it depends. It depends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really think it's like so I think that's what it is. I think it's the beard. The beard adds a little pizzazz.
Wait, I want revertibles. Can you dive into that? You have academic energy. As such
See,
a
even the way you asked the question, can you really
Can you
reflect?
please dive into that comment a little bit more for us?
I would
Revertibles?
like to know more. Pushes up glasses.
Literally, I would love for us to really dive deeper on what you are meaning when you say academic energy. So yeah. So okay, but while we're waiting for academic energy insights, the poofed, I think
it's got a pop to it.
Is it? Does it though?
When
I don't
say it
know.
does.
Does it?
we are.
Okay, I can tell you a little bit more about these components. I've been reading through the code while y'all have been talking about poofed for some reason. Yes, there is a dialer, and then there's some call control kind of stuff. So like it'll it'll do things like I was looking through this, and there's things like talking about where's the one? I was looking at this one, and it's talking about conferences and like participants and like adding somebody to a call, and then there's agent labels and things like that. So like this is a kind of cool way to like be able to facilitate bringing people in and out of calls without having to build that stuff front end and back end yourself. I dig that.
Yeah.
So the two things that are in here for right now are this basic call control thing, which looks to do some of that stuff around managing a queue and a conference situation. And then there's a dialer, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a dialer with like end call and accept call and mute and all that kind of stuff. So like
Sweet.
it's good stuff. Like you don't have to build that yourself now.
And I think the way that I would handle this particular announcement is by having it built on my machine and just showing like this.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
I think the little demo kind of thing is great. Here's what this is. Here's what it means for you, and here's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Here's the and that is repeatable for like a lot of things where there is something to show. It's like, what is it? What does it mean to you? What does it look like?
Mm-hmm.
But what does it look like either visually or how does it feel to use it? That kind of thing, right? It's very, very basic things. Like, here's the thing, here's why you should care, and here's how it looks or how you use it, or like what is the feeling that this gives you from using it, like whatever, like just peeling back the layers, right, for each news story.
Yeah. Thank you for
banana.
that. I think that's
It's onion. It's onion.
It's onion. Yeah. We're just the first layer of the
Ogres
onion.
have layers. Like
I just
like
I was
like
just
ogres.
yeah,
maybe
like
I was just
ogres.
thinking about a quick banana. Just never mind. Never mind.
Bananas.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
bananas,
Leave me,
Bianca.
Yes.
leave me alone. Leave me
That's
alone.
bananas.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No, I get you. I get you. No, I get you.
I'm just
Yeah.
Anywho, so
Roberta Bowles clarified and said, academic energy and academic matter are
you
perfectly
forgot the
compatible and
first
cannot
line. You
be-
forgot the first word.
Actually,
yeah.
well, actually, academic
Well,
energy
actually.
and academic matter are perfectly compatible. Cannot be created nor destroyed.
Roberta Bowles, you said a whole lot of nothing. So we asked for clarification. You said a whole lot of. Well, maybe that is
That is the
academic
clarification.
energy. That is academic energy, though. It's
Yeah.
like a whole lot of nothing.
I
Just have my whole life explained to me.
I'm sorry. Okay, I feel like I'm not being
It's-
nice to our guests. And
no, that's beautiful.
oh my gosh.
That's
it's-
great.
But it's not just about what you have to say, it's about how you say it, right? If you can tell the story, then you can make anything sound really great.
Well, I don't know if you knew that you could do that, but exclamation point drink actually.
Does it make you drink?
It does.
Oh my god, you've unleashed.
I didn't know if you knew you could do that, but it does work. It should work. Unless it's listed. Oh, it may just be. I wonder
Is it
if
just
it's,
you?
it may be scoped to just me. Hold on. Yeah, I'll fix that.
I think that's for
silly.
the best. I think that's for
It
the
may
best.
have a timer too. I don't know. I have to look at the
Because
command.
it would have you drinking a lot.
Oh, it has a timer. It has a timer.
Okay.
Global cooldown 60 seconds, and I think
You don't want to get too hydrated.
No.
it has a cooldown. It's because I used it, so like in a minute it'll work again.
Okay,
Basically how
I'll
those
just do it
work.
when you least expect it, and then all of a sudden
Exactly, and then I'll be like,
splash
well, and like it's supposed to trigger me to take a drink of water, so I stay hydrated. So
Oh,
you know,
got it. Okay, let's all take a sip of water in unison. Well,
I'll push the button.
look at us.
That's
team.
good. Revertables, you
Staying
can
healthy together.
revertables do the thing. Make a clip. we stayed hydrated. You got to make a clip. It's good. We're trying to encourage good behavior.
Very, very much so. Okay.
All
All right. So breaking news. Our A/B testing show is now parsed and filtered for Twilio devs. Featuring a green-faced anchor. Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh God. The green-faced anchor.
Faced anchor.
It is green.
Wow. Okay. Green-faced anchor. I am a green-faced anchor.
With more academic energy than Roberta Bowles' TED Talk, Craig's Codes. Your new service suggestion just got an AI upgrade. Stay tuned for hot takes and cool code.
Hey, I would like to inform you it is Craig S. Codes.
Craig
Craig S. Dennis.
Dennis E. Pumpkin. Is
Craig,
that what it was?
it's Craig's code.
Yeah, there needs
I don't know.
Z's in there.
We've
like
been
the
through
Craig-
this. We've been
the
through
Craig-
this a few
Craig
times.
S list.
We've been through
Craig
this a few
S
times.
list.
I've given Craig no shortage of grief
Okay.
over his chosen names.
Got it. Okay. Now we know. Craig's
codes is
Craig's
said
at least used to it. I've given him grief.
so it goes.
Okay. So we don't have a show name.
No.
It is wow. I don't know how Tulio bought green faced anchor.
Maybe it's Alex S News.
Yes. Alex does news.
Alex's news is yeah.
Alex in the news. Okay. Let's see.
Cool. Let's jump back into the change.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
That's why we're here.
We got a few more minutes. We might be at the back. There's one or two more. So digital verification for UK regulatory compliance bundles. Probably too small of a thing to mention.
UK might have some choice words. You're like,
Wait, sorry, I'm scrolling fast. Voice Android and iOS SDK pre-flight API. I don't know what that is, but that might be another thing where I like show it. Suite of pre-flight APIs. Oh, so it's extending the JavaScript, the voice JavaScript SDK to do some Android and iOS stuff. Again, that'd be the kind of thing where like if I showed a demo of it, that would be pretty cool. Where's the one I want to talk about? I'm just gonna go scroll down because we don't have a lot more time. If it's here, it might not be here, but I think it's here. Maybe it's not here.
wow.
It's gonna be sad. I don't see.
Yeah, because we're back in November now. At this point.
It might be too far. But there's something specific that I'm excited about. That. Oh, this was another one I thought might be interesting. Group texting, now generally available. It was available, and then a carrier stopped it, and now it's back.
Interesting, yeah. Interesting.
That could be just worth mentioning. This is it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, that was exciting. That was like really exciting news.
Yes, Twilio Video will remain a standalone product. I was in a lift with Bianca and our coworker Sarah, on right before this, like literally maybe a day before this, and we were sitting in this lift being like, video. I'm like, what? Like, what's going on? Like, I wish we still had that. And then like within a week, they're like, video's back.
Yeah.
It was kind of wild because we cracked up. Like we were joking around. We're like going through like our Twilio strategy thoughts, and then all of a sudden, it was like all the things. So many of the things we were talking about that week started to happen. It was kind of spooky.
They might have been listening to us. I mean, maybe they're recording my phone. I don't know.
You never
know. I assume
know.
that I make all the decisions at Twilio that work. All the bad ones aren't me, but all the good ones are. Definitely things I thought of first.
Essentially. So no, Twilio video stuff is pretty exciting because it's like, it's always funny because when things or products like get to end of life, folks will complain about them in person, and I'm like, I promise you, I would have loved to do more, but I don't know what to say to you. So it is exciting when certain products like we're like, no, Twilio Video is back. So it'll be exciting.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a bunch of video content that I had to hide that now I feel like I need to go revisit to see if it still works. And then like, or if there's like, some of them were based on quick start stuff that's changed. So like maybe the exact video wouldn't go back live, but it's like, it's really funny, the whiplash of like, you had some content out there and you're like, oh no, the product's going away, I gotta go hide it. And now we just hid all that content. And it's like, oh, just kidding. Video's staying. So I've been trying to think about going back on that stuff.
I think what's going to be interesting though is like, you know how like, I think you know how people put their like companions in video. So I think like their AI companions like that. So I think it's going to be interesting though with like kind of the AI, AI plus video and kind of all the things within that. That'll be interesting. But I'm like, I don't know, chat. I'm kind of curious. Like, what would you want to do with video? Now that it's back.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Me and Paul and Dom, I think, we're talking about like we were trying to race to maybe get something in video, with like the real-time assistant, like the real-time APIs and all that. And then Ricky Robinette dropped one over at Cloudflare. And it's like, okay, well, we didn't win the race, but this is still a really cool idea. So like I'm kind of curious like where we'll end up with that concept, especially tying in with our other AI tools that we have at Twilio. Like
I was like, there are probably other ideas.
I mean, there definitely will be. There definitely will be. Like, I would not be surprised to see something like that appear on stream at some point. Here,
you already have a bot.
I know. Like, it'd be kind of interesting if this little guy was actually an assistant for me on my stream, instead of being me on my stream. Apologies, friends. I was going to actually join on camera today, but I have like literally not been feeling well this week.
But you're still here.
I'm here. This is my face when I can't use my face.
Yeah.
If you want to see Brent's face, go watch our YouTube.
There you go.
Exactly. It's all over the place. Yeah.
And,
Some of the people in chat know what I look like, sort of. They haven't seen me in a while, but they do know. They do know.
And then I want to just shout out to Robertables who got excited by the pre-flight. This is why doing this on live might be actually fun.
That's why we did it.
He got excited by the pre-flight request and is like, hey, that stuff's actually important. So now I'm going to go read up on this and understand a little bit more about what pre-flight request actually means.
That happened with me and Corey one time. We were like, no one's going to care about that. And I think it might have even been RJ Pearson. It was like, no, that's actually really important. I'm like, oh, okay, we'll cover it then. I guess I'll add that in there.
Really important news. That can also be the name of the show. Just really important. Important.
Yeah,
really important. Don't miss going out of business show.
I'll tell you what is just, there's something really interesting about creating content live. Robertables remembers I used to edit. I have a whole YouTube stack of videos called Twilio Tips. They're like 2-minute bits and bytes of like how to do stuff with Twilio, and I did a lot of them live on. Believe it or not, I streamed on Mondays. I hate Mondays, but I did a Monday show because I wanted to get those done. I wanted to get a couple done on Monday so that we could post them on Tuesday. And editing video live in front of people, that's a task. But we did it. It was fun.
That is a task. I actually had a meeting earlier today where I was talking to some people about how webinar strategy, and one thing I said, this just reminded me of it, because one thing I said was, I'm not here to put myself into another webinar. I have enough. But if you all want to get on stream and do something live, I'm in. And it's like, yeah, it's in some ways live is harder, and in some way live is easier. And it's both.
I'm spinning around in my chair.
No, the way Alex was like, I had a meeting, talking to people.
I had a meeting. I talked to people.
There it goes.
Sweet.
Good job, Alex. Gotta take
you were trying to stop it. Can you stop it if you're spinning? Can you spin?
No, it would still go. It would still go. Here, I'll do that because I have to push the button to do it, but it'll go.
You have to spin and drink? Oh.
Should.
Oh.
Just a mirrored video. I mean,
just sort of dizzy thinking about that. Though. Spinning around in a chair while drinking water. Yeesh.
I can go back and forth.
That's a little slow. Well, I have
yours is just like cut in between it. You're not flipping.
Yeah, I don't have a flip. I haven't figured out transitions in OBS yet.
Got it. Okay, so all right. We learned a lot today. We got hip to our news. Alex, how are you feeling after said pilot? What did you learn? What are you thinking you're going to go to the drawing board with?
Yeah,
not drawing board, like.
Did you take notes? You said you were taking notes. Did you take notes?
I am going to be honest. I did not take notes for a reasonable reason, which is
wow.
I already had notes, and like here we go. I already had notes here.
Yes.
And so like some of these are like existing things that I had. So it
Did
wasn't
you-
like
Did you rearrange or like,
I
add
added
anything
this.
to it? Yeah, okay. The voice.
then
I was gonna
I'll-
say
I'll-
the SDK
I'll
components.
add
Okay.
one more, which is like pre-flight components.
Mhm,
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm. Okay. Wow.
So I
Your
did.
voice matters here, chat. Okay. So
I saw that too, Robertables. I wasn't gonna say anything.
What?
Oh, you know.
Did I say something?
No,
weird?
it's in your notes. It's in your notes.
yeah.
It's definitely in your notes. That's funny. We have a very observant audience. We have a
Good.
very observant audience.
Oh, yeah.
I've learned that over the years.
I don't even know. Oh, I'll tell you what that was. Talking about our Black Friday, Cyber Mondays, and how
Yeah.
many messages we sent, and
That's accurate.
it's a shitload.
It's
It is
accurate. Absolutely
let
accurate.
me redo that. It's a load.
wow.
I'm sorry. Did you say it's a load?
It's a load.
Bianca's like, stop it. Stop it, you two.
I-
I'm not, Bianca's like, stop it, you two. I'm not fancy.
It's whatever at this point.
I don't know.
No,
how to
I
describe
was
it. It
waiting
like-
for
it was
Bianca to
billions
say
and
it, but
billions of
not
messages.
bleep it because she'd be like, I don't have one.
I just said it out loud too. It's billions of messages, and it is a lot. It's just a lot, and so like, it's a like. I feel like that was an accurate description, and I
Yeah,
stand
no,
by it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I probably wouldn't put that in the video unless you bleep it.
No, but it's the vibe. The
Yeah.
vibe is.
But no,
is
I got
that.
you. I get you.
Yeah,
It's
that's
an
it.
Elgato load. Okay, so this is good. We're feeling good. Chat, are there any shows that you want to see? Anyone you'd like to peer pressure that might be on this call or on this screen at this moment? Feel free to direct your thoughts on why Chef Brent needs to be piloting his show next. But let us know
Yeah.
your thoughts.
And if you
I was
wanna let
gonna
us know-
pilot a show this week, and then Alex was like, I'm piloting my new show. So
Okay, great.
So
So,
next week.
does that mean that Chef Brent will be piloting next week?
we
may
had- yeah,
I may just be doing my show
just
next
do
week.
Do it.
But I'm happy to come back on. If you don't have anybody else, I'm happy to come back on to preview it. Potentially.
Brent, you're dancing around the side. You're just
No,
dancing
I will
around.
come back on. If you don't have anybody else to pilot, I will come back on.
Andrew had another show idea. We might bring him back on. And I'm gonna go bug some other people about their show ideas and see if they're gonna happen or not, or if there's other versions of
I
them.
just
They
don't.
can
I don't
come
want
on.
to. I don't want to dominate your airwaves. If you've got other people that want to try something out.
I like
Because
that.
I'm here this week. Like,
True.
if I'm here next week again, people are gonna be like, oh man, this guy's just on stream all the
Who's
time.
he? He's here every
He's just
week.
on stream all the time. I
WTF.
don't want that. Ugh.
As if
Um,
you didn't do that before.
yeah.
Anyhow,
But if you want to give us feedback, do it there. Discord. Hit us up. I'm there.
you
Send me a
sounded like
message. I'll reply.
a
I
commercial.
want to talk to people. I want to talk to people on the Discords.
Seriously, we do want to talk to you. And there's all kinds of different channels in there, and like we're gonna be in there. That's a big focus for me right now. Is like, I think y'all we want to be engaging with the community, and I think I got a hypothesis that that's a really good place for us to all gather, because Discords are cool. I'm in
Yeah.
a bunch of them, and they're
Okay.
always fun.
We got some suggestions. I would love to see a pivot back to basics of fun. I'm not saying this how you sound, Robertables. I would love to see a pivot back to basics of fun, pranky Tulio projects. Hearing about what others are creating, pitching, and creating ideas.
Your first tone of voice was a lot closer to Robertables.
Okay. All right.
Can you do a
All right.
Robertables impression?
No, I've
Man.
never
I've
met
never met
Robertable.
Robertables.
I don't even know what a Robertable sounds like. Like.
I don't know. Naming things is hard. Come to my TED talk,
All
but
right.
like,
All right.
I know what beast. I know what Roberto will sounds like. Naming things is hard. Come to my TED talk.
Okay.
No, I think this is great though. Like, you're not wrong, Tables, that we need, like, we need to get back to some of that basics. It's just it became like, I'll be perfectly clear as to why I backed away from some of that stuff. Is it became harder
Yeah.
for some products. It became a lot harder, not necessarily to do it. I can do it, but you might not be able to make that fun, quirky project. Like when we had videos with Christine making like the mail bot, like the mail pig bot that sat in her mailbox during COVID to like let her know when the mail came, like because the mailbox door opened. Like that's a really cool SMS usage, but like it's a little harder to get started with SMS these days, right? So like it became a little, it's not harder to build any of those apps. It just might be harder to like for you to be able to latch on to some of those hobbyist products with certain products. And I think that's on us to figure out, where can we build hobbyist projects? Is that an email thing? Is it a WhatsApp thing? Like what is that?
And I think that might be a good push for us, because it's like, I mean, you know, Alex, as a parent, you probably experience this. Like, you have to redefine fun, right? Like, fun might not look like fun of your previous days, your childless days, but it doesn't mean you can't have fun. So I do think like I think kind of making do with what you have, right? So I think like that might be a thing. So if there are, maybe that's another space too, which is like chat. If you or someone you know is building fun, let us know. Add it to the Discord. But I think also we might need your help on that too, right? In the sense of just like highlighting and spotlighting some of the folks that are just still tinkering, that still are embodying that spirit. Because I do think like, yeah, we're seeped into Twilio-ness sometimes, and it can be a little hard. So
we also have the challenge that like we've all been here for varying amounts of time.
Yeah.
That is non-zero. We're not like the getting started with Twilio people. Like I'm not as close to that like energy anymore. And that's a challenge. That's a challenge for us, I think, as content creators, to like not make excuses. I'm not saying that we made excuses, but it is a really easy excuse to make, to say, you know what, it's harder to do hobbyist projects now. And like, guess what? Tough noogies. Like go figure out
have fun.
Go figure out what products you actually can still have fun with, and like let's find ways to
find
do that.
the fun. Let's find the fun with
let's do it. I'm gonna have some tangential fun with programming languages soon if I can finish up these football teams. That's all I'm saying.
No, that might be a thing. We're gonna have a find the fun hotline. No, I'm actually
find the fun. Alex, new show name. I like that.
Alex, we are literally going to have a hotline of like find the fun with Twilio. Like, and text us whatever you're building, send us a link to a whatever. But like that is our journey. This year we are finding the fun.
I love that.
Find the fun.
Yeah, maybe that's a channel we need on Discord. Tell us what you're building. Find the fun.
I'm gonna make a find the fun channel right now.
Yeah, do it. Well, and one thing that you just mentioned, Brent, which was we're a little further removed because we're not just getting started anymore.
Yes.
Andrew has been at Twilio for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, and he's got that energy. And so we're really grateful that Andrew's joined the team and that he's coming to do fun stuff on Slack, and then he's getting started running and helping us get back to that. Because we've, for a lot of people who are just so much fun aren't part of our team anymore, right? Christine's not here. Craig is over at Cloudflare. Emily moved to a different team. Evangelists have gone to different places or moved on. But then why are
they the only fun ambassadors?
They're not the only fun ambassadors, but there's less fun ambassadors. We're Bianca, we're now the fun ambassadors. Welcome.
Woo!
We're gonna change our job title from developer evangelist to fun ambassador.
Yes. No, I'm joking. But I think everyone should be a fun ambassador. You know what I mean? I do think like
good Discord.
I think that could be a thing. We have to. I do think like. Yeah. I'm just saying this. Okay, I think we sparked something. And maybe we might have to clip this as we are in search of fun. So truly, if you are anyone you know that has been building cool things, building fun things on Twilio,
we're already rolling, y'all. So like join. So I'm serious about joining. We're gonna do this year. Join the Discord. Hop in this channel. Look, Ma, I'm on YouTube. Look, Ma, I'm on Twitch.tv. Look, like Robertables has graduated from chat to like in the community.
Wow.
This happens live. But yeah, help us find the fun.
This is good. And again, like I think even just like as humans, we cannot be so serious all the time, right? Like,
No.
I think if we let life get us worn out, we have lost spark and joy. So maybe this isn't just us finding the fun with good old Twilio tools, but I think it's just space for us as humans to find lightness, to find joy in the midst of, like, you know, all the stuff that is happening.
But
so
on a serious note.
Yeah.
No, I'm done.
No, we're having fun. No, seriously, you're right.
We're
you're right.
serious. See, I'm telling you, it's that academic energy. Alex, are you anti-fun? I don't know, man. I don't know. Even though Alex is like fun.
Alex is fun.
Alex is the fun
I got
party
to get
starter.
back into my fun because my improv class started up again last night.
Okay,
It's just
so that's
I think Alex is a fun advocate. So like
a fun advocate.
Yeah,
fun evangelist.
Fun evangelist. Fun evangelist.
Fun evangelist. Fun
evangelism. That's the name of my show.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Veto.
Okay, I do. Okay, so all right. I think you could do a monthly spotlight kind of thing. Okay. Where you have a guest or two on for 15 minutes. If they found the fun, talked about it in Discord, have them on. So yeah, you got to find the fun. At least we need like 3. See, then this is where we get serious. We're like, you need 3 funs a quarter.
Oh no, do we
hit our
we have
fun?
an OKR?
We have an
fun KPI.
A fun. Sorry.
Oh no, not the fun KPI.
The fun is over. Once it's done. No more fun. We already ruined fun as it is. Okay, no, but serious, y'all. So here's the wrap up. Closing notes. Where do you need to find us? We need you to meet us on Discord. Okay, taking notes. Are y'all taking notes? So meet us on Discord. We need you to find the fun. So if you or anyone you know is fun and building fun things on Twilio, join Discord. Okay, yeah. Join Discord, find us, and we're gonna be fun. We want you to join our fellow shows. So when Alex launches his new show, whatever it's called, join that too. Let's see. ChefBrent is gonna be launching a show. So join that too. What else? And give yourself a pat on the back for being a cool member of chat. So that is my final closing remarks. I don't know why I was yelling. I just felt enthused.
You're having fun.
I actually really like Roberta Bull's last thing. And if you can't find the fun, talk about the search for fun.
Yes, absolutely. Join the Discord and just cheer on other people that are trying to find the fun. Like, why not? Why not?
I love that. We have room for everyone. We're gonna have fun ambassadors, fun cheerleaders, fun advocates. Find your role. It's unpaid though, but just find your role here. Okay?
We can't pay you, but join the team.
Yeah, great. So that's all we got for you today. As always, thank you, squad, for joining us here.
Stream tears.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you all so much. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, Tuesdays, 2 p.m. Twitch, Twilio Devs. Something fun for you then?
I'll be doing a stream at some point here pretty soon, but you're gonna have to join the Discord if you want to find out when that's going to be. So make sure you're in there. Yeah.
Oh, see, Roberto Bowles did get paid. He got some sweet swag.
See?
Cool. Well, bye everybody. We'll see you next week.
Oh yeah, I have to click a button, don't I?
You have to click the button.
Oh my goodness, I'm not just a guest on this thing. I'm actually a producer too. Oh my goodness. All right. Bye y'all.